This is how the Tilde Evo sound like. Not that great, you may think. Well, how about I tell you, there's a loud vacuum cleaner that is turned on at this moment. 85 decibels is pretty loud, and this is how well the Tilde Evo is canceling out the loud sound of the vacuum cleaner. Let me switch to the camera's microphone so you can hear how loud it actually is over here. So, knowing how loud it actually is over here, I think this is doing a fantastic job at canceling out the sound of the vacuum cleaner. And this is how the Tilde Evo sounds like in a more quiet environment. I turned off the vacuum cleaner, and now let's find out more about this headset.
The Tilde Evo is the latest headset from French manufacturer Orosound. It replaces the older model, the Tilde Pro, and it introduces what they're calling AI noise cancellation to give you extreme voice clarity even in the loudest of situations. And as you just heard, I think it made a fantastic job at cancelling out the loud sound of the vacuum cleaner. Yes, my voice wasn't very clear fidelity-wise, but you couldn't hear the vacuum cleaner. And I think that that's not an easy job to do, being able to extract one's voice and separate it from the background and still be comprehensible. And I think it did a great job at that. Before we continue with the review, a big shout out to the guys at Headset Advisor. They did send me the Orosound Evo for free to review it. The video is not sponsored, but they did send me out the unit. So if you're looking to purchase the Evo or any other headset for that matter, I would definitely recommend you check out Headset Advisor. I'll put links in the description to the product page. Having said that, let me start by highlighting a couple of things that have changed from the older version, the Tilde Pro. I did review the Tilde Pro a while ago, so you can watch that review if you're interested to see how that performed. And I think the Tilde Evo builds on the great noise cancelling performance of the microphone of the Tilde Pro and takes it a step further. So it is slightly better in noise cancellation, especially in a loud environment. One of the unique features of the Tilde series is that they're modular. These have the on-ear ear cushions and these are over-ear, but if you wanted to change that, you can simply pop them off just like that and install the on-ear ones, and there you go, as easy as that. And here there is a small change. As you see on the older one, the Tilde Pro, they were labeled left and right, and you had to match the red arrow to the red one over here and the green arrow to the green one over here. With the new one, the Evo, there's no more left and right, so they are interchangeable, which means you don't need to do any matching over here, but also you don't have to match how you wear them. You can wear them like this and have the microphone on the right-hand side, or you can wear them like this and have the microphone on the left-hand side. This swivels 270 degrees, so you can swivel it in either direction, which I think is a pretty good upgrade. Another change is that with the older one, the Tilde Pro, the microphone was removable. It had a magnetic connection, so it would attach like that, and you can remove it. Some people like that, some people did not. With the new one, the Tilde Evo, the microphone is not detachable, and it's just permanently connected to the headphones. And there's another change in the controls on the Pro. It had a rocker over here, and this has been replaced. With the Tilde Evo with buttons, there's no longer any rocker. As with the Tilde Pro, the Tilde Evo also have active noise cancellation, which does a good job. I don't think it's the best out there, but it does a good job at attenuating background noises if you have these on and are listening to music. What I like about the Tilde Evo is that it also has a cradle, which you can put on your desk, connected via USB-C cable to charge. Whenever you're not using the headset, you just place it on the cradle and it's going to be charging and ready for you to go whenever you want to use it. It also comes with a prepared USB dongle, which is great. Means you just plug this into your computer and you're instantly connected to the Tilde Evo. I've tested it with Microsoft Teams and it works great with absolutely no issues. Now in the introduction, you heard how it sounds like with a loud vacuum cleaner, but I wanted to give you a more realistic real life scenario test. So I went down on a busy street with cars passing by and I recorded the following segment.
So I'm standing on a busy street, as you can see. There are cars passing by from all around, and also there's a lot of wind, and this is what the Tilde Evo sounds like, how you would sound like if you're making a phone call in a loud, windy environment like this one. To give you an idea how loud it actually is, I'm going to switch to the iPhone's microphone. And this is how loud it actually is over here with all these cars passing by. And I'm back on the Tilde Evo. Let me know in the comments section what you thought about the performance and voice cancellation capabilities of the Tilde Evo in a loud environment like the one I'm in.
So what are my thoughts on the Tilde Evo? Well, I'm actually a bit conflicted. On the one hand, it does an excellent job at canceling out any loud noises when you're on a phone call, but that's about it. While it excels at that aspect, it is just okay in every other aspect. In terms of sound quality, if you're listening to music, I thought it sounded okay, but nothing to write home about. I felt it sounded a little bit flat, it lacked some vibrancy, and I would have liked a little bit more bass response. Then in terms of controlling these, I also wasn't a big fan. On this side, you have the on-off button and the noise cancellation button, and I think they're just too close to each other that I so many times would turn them off while I wanted to trigger aware mode or transparency mode. Now, yes, they do have a small knob here on the on-off button, so you can, in theory, feel it is the on-off button, whereas on the noise cancellation button, it's completely flat, there's nothing there. So that's a good touch, but still, I've confused them so many times and turned off the headset while I just wanted to activate noise cancellation or awareness mode. On the other side, you've got the media button, and the volume up and down are supposed to do next track if you double press. They do not seem to be doing that. However, I did reach out to Orosound and they confirmed that they're working on a firmware update that will enable that functionality. But as of this moment, you cannot do next track or previous track, which is a bit disappointing. Also, I felt they were a little too plasticky to my taste with the build quality. There's nothing wrong about them, and I absolutely love the mesh finish over here, and they're extremely comfortable. The ear cushions are extremely comfortable, but I felt the buttons are a bit too plasticky. I would have liked slightly more premium build quality, which I felt the older version, the Tilde Pro, did a slightly better job at. I also would have liked if the boom arm was slightly longer. I thought it was a bit too short, but it does the job, and it does a good job at canceling out background noise, so that's what's important. Another slight disappointment, the sound quality in a quiet environment was a bit less than I had expected of these. You sound perfectly clear, but you lack some fidelity in my opinion. I would have liked a bit more high definition sound when you are in a quiet environment, which also wasn't the case. Matter of fact, I think the Tilde Pro sounded a little bit better in a quiet environment. And as a reminder, this is what the Tilde Evo sounds like in a quiet environment. Perfectly clear, but not what I call high definition sound. And in contrast, this is what the Tilde Pro sounds like in a quiet environment. And I think it sounds slightly better, not by a lot, but if you listen carefully, just slightly better than the Tilde Evo. And now I'm going to throw in a curveball. This is a $50 budget headset from a basically unknown brand, and this is how it sounds like. And I think it sounds better in a quiet environment than both of the Orosound headsets, which is why I expected more from them. But the Tilde Evo in a loud environment, I think, performs remarkably well. Having said that, I love the fact that these are modular and you can get on-ear and over-ear versions very easily. You just need to change the ear cups. I also like that there's no left and right anymore, so you can just interchangeably use either and wear the headset either like this or like that, which is nice. And the fact that you get a cradle and a USB-C dongle is also great, which means I can have them on my desk, ready to go, always charged, and whenever I need them, I just put them on. They're instantly connected and they just work right away. So would I recommend them? Well, I would say if your utmost priority is voice clarity in phone calls, and especially in loud environments, then I would say definitely give them a try. But if you're expecting them to be equally as great in other areas as well, like sound quality or the active noise cancellation, well, I would lower my expectations there. That's it for me. I'll put links in the description to the Tilde Pro. And again, check out Headset Advisor if you're in the market for headsets. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, as this encourages me to continue producing content. Until next time, cheers.